my electrical engineering friends once told me that electrical engineering is a very simple concept. If anything is open, close it. Anything is closed, open it. Only thing you should know what to open, what to close, when to open, when to close, how to open, how to close. Think about it, even cost reduction is very simple. If you want to reduce cost, convert fixed into variable and variable into fixed. Only thing we should know what, when, how to do that. So for this, we need to redefine fixed and variable cost. Variable cost is a cost incurred for using a resource. Whenever we use a resource, we incur a cost. A classic example being raw material. When I consume raw material, I incur cost. Whereas fixed cost is a cost incurred for having a resource. Having a resource, for example rent. I want to occupy the space, therefore I need to pay the rent. Whether I use the space fully or not is a different issue altogether. So cost is incurred based on the commitment in the case of fixed cost. There is a myth that variable cost is controllable and fixed cost is not controllable. Actually, it is the other way around. In fact, reducing variable cost is extremely difficult because the major drivers of variable costs are design of the product and process. Whereas the major driver of the fixed cost is our decision to commit a resource. So where a fixed cost is better than variable cost and where a variable cost can be better than a fixed cost? There are three enabling conditions. The three enabling conditions where fixed cost can be better than variable cost is: if the volume is significant, fixed cost is cheaper. Because when you get a resource in bulk, it is always cheaper. If the frequency of utilization is high, fixed cost is cheaper. The more you utilize the capacity, the more you utilize the resource, then definitely I am utilizing it fully, therefore volume automatically goes up as well. So frequency is a second factor. The third factor is productivity. If a resource is highly productive, keeping it as a fixed cost resource is much more appropriate than keeping it as a variable cost resource. But all these conditions are applicable or logical only from a financial perspective, but not from strategic or technical perspective. That after crossing the strategic and technical reasons, I am getting into the financial reason. So converting variable to fixed and fixed into variable is driven by the volume, frequency and productivity parameters. Therefore, if I have to move towards a fixed cost resource which is cheaper, it is important I manage to increase the volume, increase the frequency and increase the productivity. The solution lies fundamentally in multi-skilling and making the resource engage in multiple activities. So fixed cost is cheaper than variable cost if you plan it properly.